Tonight, the Iowa Event Center played host to a major get-together for Republican White House hopefuls. The Iowa Faith and Freedom Coalition welcomed 10 candidates, all pitching themselves to Iowa voters. KCCI's chief political reporter Amanda Rooker has more on the focus of tonight's discussions.
10 Republican presidential candidates spent the night trying to win over Christian conservatives here in Iowa. Moderators pressed them on issues important to the faith community, including what action they'd take on abortion.
I think the states have done the better job thus far. Congress has really struggled to make a meaningful impact over the years. You know, as president, I'm going to welcome pro-life policies across the board.
I believe that God has blessed the womb, that there's life in the womb, and it is deserving of protection. So if our members of Congress can reach a consensus and pass a pro-life bill that has reasonable exceptions to it, that we all agree upon, I will sign that as a pro-life president.
I personally believe that life begins at conception. I do not, however, believe that it is an issue that the federal government should take over. One of the reasons I believe we did so poorly in the midterms is because the pro-abortion side was able to say to people, this now means that there will be a law passed at the federal level to outlaw abortion.
I support a 15-week ban, and if it came to my desk, I would sign that. And I think with the Dobbs decision going back to the states, our states have the responsibilities now. And I also think that we should be making sure that the resources and health resources for our moms are available, that our state should have some of the greatest neonatal health care in the world.
I believe that we owe it to the American people to elect a president who will fight for a minimum standard in Washington, D.C. I must tell you, I think we ought to ban abortion across America from that point that a baby can experience pain in the womb forward. It's a 15-week minimum ban. I believe it's an idea whose time has come.
Whatever we can get 60 Senate votes on, isn't that better than what we have now? And if it's 6 weeks, that's great. If it's 15 weeks, that's great. If it's 20 weeks, it's going further than we want. But guess what? We'll save more babies that way. I just want us to have a good conversation on how to save as many babies as we can and support as many moms as we can.
Several candidates were also asked about what they would do to improve education in America.
I would take the model of Governor Kim Reynolds in this great state and make it a nationwide model. The second thing I would do is I would put a target on the backs of the teachers' unions and break their backs. They're destroying our kids.
Let's take a look at the idea of education. Shouldn't the parents have a right to choose where the kids go to school and what they learn? Let's get rid of the Department of Education. Throw it out. We do that because it's corrupting our kids.
We have to stand for the individual, the family, the nation, and God. Individual, family, nation, God, that beats race, gender, sexuality, and climate. If we have the courage to actually stand for something, we're not just running from something, we're running to something.
We have to protect our kids. So at the primary grade level, high school level, I'm just saying we have to protect all of our children in America. We need to protect them at every single level and make sure that families have a part of the decision-making process. So there's an agenda that's out there that's from the world, but we can defeat this through the love of God and through truth. And when we stand for truth, we stand for freedom, we'll protect it.
And as candidates spent the night on the stage, they were trying to win over this crowd behind me, Iowa evangelicals. A very large part of Republicans in the state. Entrance polls in 2016 found that more than 2/3 of GOP caucus goers were Christian conservatives. There's just 4 months until the caucuses for those candidates to win that group over. From Des Moines, Amanda Rooker, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.